and welcome. This is the second in our Dyson Sphere Program series. So just a very quick recap of what we did in the last one is we got Blue Science up and running, which was our end goal, which is happening over here. The aim in this video is we're going to build a mall. We're going to get a decent power supply going on, and then depending how long the video might run for, we'll see if we can squeeze in red science as well. So for those of you who've played this sort of game before, you'll know what a mall is, but for the benefit of those who haven't, a mall is just an area where you're going to have an easy pickup place for all of your commonly used items. So early on in the game, you're going to be using lots of gears, we're going to be using lots of belts, we're going to be using lots of sorters, we're going to be using lots of other bits and pieces. We also want some miners set up, so we've got easy access to miners, the windmills and the Tesla towers, just to name a few. And as we progress through the game, our needs will change and we can add more to a mall, or we could have sort of, this could be the basic level mall, and we could do an intermediate mall, and so on and so forth. Power speaks for itself. We're going to build some power stations and just show you how they work, and then potentially red science at the end of it. So, first of all, we need to decide exactly what we want in our mall. So to do that, I'm just going to bring up the components that we can build and get these set up, and also from buildings as well. So for me, we definitely want Tesla towers, we definitely want wind turbines, definitely want belts, which I've already got one set up here. We definitely want the fast sorters, possibly some storage, and it's also quite good just to have a box of ingots around as well. So we shall go ahead and get those going. So things that we're going to need for it, we're going to need quite a few assemblers. So having the these boxes of components ready will enable this handcrafting to go much quicker. So you can see at the moment we're making the gears, we're making the circuit boards, then we're making the assembler. So just imagine that you've got these things already complete in your inventory. We're going to be able to craft things much quicker. So right, that's going to get us a few assemblers. Probably need a few smelters, so we need some iron and some circuit boards. So we should have circuit boards set up somewhere. Forgive me if I lose my way on this. This is my my tidy version, if you will, of the game. I have my own real game, for want of a thing, where I just try things out and get things running, which is an absolute mess. It looks like just a big spaghetti mess of belts, but we'll try and keep this one tidier so that you can benefit from things I've learned when I've been doing trial and error. So what I'm doing, I'm just collecting stockpiles of different things for now, so we can build. We're going to need some iron, we need some copper. Where's copper? And we'll need some stone for smelters. We got some stone somewhere. There's some stone. Oh yes, we got lots of stone. So we get some of those going. We're going to need storage. Oh, and as you can see, we've got some research going in the background. All I've set up for research is it's just got everything that needed the blue science going. What I will do is queue up the, if there's any left to do. Oh no, we've already got all the mech related ones. So we'll just leave those chipping over. We're not really going to explore those in this video. So we need to choose a nice little area for our mall. I'm thinking we need somewhere where we can run a belt of iron and copper into. Let's find a nice empty space. It doesn't have to be near anything. This is probably okay around here, to be fair. Then we need to figure out getting the belts over there. So we could use splitters, which we need to make one more.
The data shows this is a planet without natural silicone veins. However, you can still obtain some by smelting stone ore. While you still need a massive silicone collection,
So
you
we
need
do
to
one
find a
splitter
planet
there,
with silicone veins as soon as possible.
one there.
Splitter with 4 directions. It can split the passing cargo or balance the cargo on multiple conveyor belts.
And what we can do while we're researching, if we find that we're running out of copper, and oh, I've not thought about that, have I? Definitely not thought about getting that through there. If we find that we're running out of stuff, we can just connect another miner. It's no big deal. So we need that running underneath. Hopefully, I'll be able to run this one over. Ah, very nice.
Your production compound has reached a certain scale.
Look at that. It's almost like we planned it.
Statistics panel button at the bottom right.
So we were going straight over there, weren't we?
It includes the output consumption of each item, electricity data, etc. Use these dynamic data can help you to manage your production base.
Okay, so we were going to bring up the fabricator power. So we need magnets and iron. So we can potentially get a belt of magnets coming over here as well, which are over there at the moment. We also want these guys next to each other in case anything needs both. Out of fuel. Oh gosh, I've exhausted my fuel there. Because we're not going to use loads and loads of magnets, we don't need a continual stream. So once my drones get their act together and build this, we're just going to use a sorter. That should be enough. Another thing to not necessarily worry about in terms of it chipping in too much into science production is we're not going to fill full storage boxes with these things. We're probably going to do sort of maybe one row, which I'll show you in a second. So although initially, yes, it will chip into your science production, it's not going to have a long-term effect. And you can see, I mean, I know we're not using stuff at the moment, but iron and copper are still quite happily working their way along. Okay, so we said we were going to do power Tesla towers. This, I'm not calling them Dyson spheres in this one. So that needs iron and it needs magnets. So we're going to have iron on this one and magnets on this one. They are made in a assembler. Too far? Why is that too far? Oh, because I haven't built that close enough. That'll be why. Telling me it's too far because it's too far. Makes sense. You're going to make those, and then you're going to drop them in a storage box, which I'd ideally like to put behind, but we need some landfill. I can't make that stuff yet, so for now I'll just put it to the side. Drop some power in. Where's the rest of our drones? We only seem to have... Oh no, they're all there. I forget, previously I've been playing on a save game where I got a little bit further on. So I had a few more construction drones there. Makes things a lot quicker. I'll tell you what, while they're doing their things, what else can we manually craft? We're going to need some more sorters. We can make not many, to be fair, so we need more motors. We make motors, iron, gears, and magnetic coils. So this is a great example of why the mall is going to be great, to be fair, because once it's up and running, this manual crafting won't disappear completely, but my goodness, it will go considerably quicker. Oh, we're only making one at a time there. That's not very good. The load. I've never noticed that before. When you move, it stops your manual crafting. Did not know that. I thought it kind of did that in the background. Either way, let's get over here and get these belts done. We do seem to have lost the construction drone. Am I right? There's only two there. That's quite frustrating. I've had that happen before. I let it off, it is early access. But it can be very frustrating when you lose a drone. Okay, so this is up and running now. So we should, once these magnets appear, should start making power towers, tester towers. Now we don't want this box to fill, so what you can do is when you've got some a storage box, using this little drag bar here, and say how many stacks you want to build. So these, if I remember rightly, stacks of 100. So we only are going to need it to build 2 stacks, and then once it's full, it will stop. Oh, I'm not very clever. See what I've done here is I'm trying to bring in copper. It doesn't need copper. It needs you. There we go. So the machine's up and running. So you'll see now we're going to start to build up a nice supply of Tesla towers. So next we'll get some wind turbines going on. So what do we need for wind turbines? Gears, iron, and magnets. We've already got the magnets and iron. So now we're going to need a run of gears. So we'll make a gear somewhere. We're making gears here. In fact, I'm tempted to... what should we do? I don't want this here. Purely because I don't want to have something not in the mall. No need to have you making gears. The easiest way to do this, I think, is we'll have... Let's just get these belts a bit longer. So we'll have this guy making gears, making pass them straight into another one that is making the wind turbines. We still haven't got our other drone back. So you are making gears. Gears just need iron. You are making these, which needs iron, gears, and magnets. So you can get your gears from there, iron from there, iron from there. Then we'll get another storage box, which I would like to line up, please. Make sure we've left enough of a gap. Weirdly, storage boxes need a slightly bigger gap between them. There we go, it should be fine. And already our maul's going to come in handy because we can pick up a stack of these. Put that in the middle to power everything. Beautiful. Now, I think these are stacks of 20. So we'll have we'll have a bit of a bigger run here. That should be enough. Then we're going to do belts, because I've just deleted my belt system down there that we just deleted from the other bit. I can't get my words out. It was a very, very badly formed sentence. Right, what do we need for belts? We also need gears and we need iron. So let's do, we run belts just around here. So now my tower is in the way again. Can get a little bit spaghetti-like when you're doing these mauls. I'll try and keep it as tidy as possible. You're making belts. Iron, and we need cogs, and we need another storage. Belts to stacks of 200, if I remember rightly, so that will be plenty. But as you've seen already, we do go through them at a fair clip. Need power. Oh, it doesn't quite reach. Let's plonk one in there. And we just simply don't have enough power, so let's get some more turbines going on. I have also just recently been experimenting with where to place these. This doesn't improve their efficiency at all, but I've noticed you don't build as much right on the coast. So I've started putting wind turbines on the coast. And I think it also looks quite nice, rather than just being randomly dotted around. It seems to, there's a little bit more logic to it. Does that connect to the network? As you saw then, once again, it was nice to be able to, rather than having to handcraft stuff, we'll just dip into our maul. So we've already used it twice, and it's only been up and running for, what, 2 or 3 minutes. That's really, really good. So other commonly used things, we're going to need sorters. And we've unlocked the fast ones, we might as well just make those. So they need motors and the slower sorters. So we're going to need to manufacture the old ones so that we can manufacture the new ones. So what do we need for the old ones? Iron and circuit boards. So we get our assembler down. So we can make circuit boards here and then pass it into that one. So this one could be slightly more complex, but you can see how you can build a mini production area in a very small space, because we don't need these en masse. So you're going to make circuit boards. Would help if I knew how to connect belts properly. I still haven't done it. You suck. There we go. Right, so that's going to make our circuit boards. It's going to pass them into here, I think. This needs to be able to reach the iron. So this guy is going to make the old ones. Yep. Excuse me if I sound a little bit hoarse tonight. These seem to be getting a bit of a cough, which is frustrating. Okay, so we're making those. So for the newer ones, we need to get motors over here as well, don't we? So how do we build a motor? So we've got most of these things up here already. We need iron, we need the gears, and we need magnets. So we can do magnets easily. We've already got a belt. We can get our old sorters from here. Magnets. Iron. And then we had to find out how we were making these, weren't we? Gears, magnets, and iron. I've got a bit of, I've confused myself there, haven't I? We don't need magnets for this one. So you're going to be making motors. And magnets. We could just pinch our gears from this guy over here is what I'm thinking. Try and stay tight. Oh, I don't even need to build that. We can just run this one further along, can't we? Delete. Oh, my drones have reappeared. I got 4 now. Wonder where they've been. Maybe they'd left something like really far away. And then we need a storage box. So if you played these sorts of games before, this will be quite obvious. But if you're a bit newer, what we've made is, so we're making the old sorters in here, which is pulling chips from here and iron from here. We're then passing the old sorters into the fabricator, the assembler rather, that's going to make the new style ones. And the new style ones also need motors, so we've got a little fabricator here which is going to make the motors, feed back into here, and then everything's going to get dumped into storage. Now in theory, and I say in theory, when I power this up, we should start to see the new style, the speedier sorters going into here. So let us see. Build a few more of these guys. You can never have enough power, so we're going to build some power stations shortly. Might as well use these while we've got them. Let's see if the master plan is successful. There we go. So we've got those going in as well. These come in quite big stacks, but you do fly through them. So we'll just limit it to 1 run. Get rid of some of this stuff. So now we're building this stuff. You don't need to carry as nearly as much stuff either, which is pretty cool. Let's see what we can dump. Can we dump any copper? everything needed magnets. Surely we can dump some magnets. Dump some. Yeah, that'll do. Maybe dump some motors. Give that a bit of a buffer. That's not going to be the speediest production run there. It's not that efficient, but it doesn't matter. We're in no rush. They're building up quite nicely. We might as well take those with us though. And we've, oops, struggling with basic brain functionality today for some reason. Right, and we've got, how many belts have we got? We'll grab some more. Grab a stack of belts. We'll grab a stack of these guys. Then we've got them. Okay, so that is the principle of them all. So now what we can do is we can nice and easily go, right, I need some stuff. We can come down and we can collect all these bits and pieces. What we could also potentially do as well, so you've got here, we've got this guy making chips, is once this is all full, we could also have a box feeding out chips. So we've just got a stack of chips should you need it. We could do, I mean, these motors later on are used for quite a few other things. So we could have another box. In fact, let's do it. As we are stood right next to it, we may as well. Let's just get this done. Sorry, you don't want to hear me singing. Now we don't want to completely detract from the production, but we're literally just going to have a couple of stacks. Nothing too crazy, so it doesn't completely detract from everything. Okay, so that's the principle of them all, and you can add to that as you go. So pick a decent space. As you can see, we've got the main belts coming in and just a nice little production line. So here we could choose just to extend it, or we could potentially loop it round. And when we can do more of the landscape alteration later on, we could just build wherever we want, because we can fill in the sea. We get a quick drink. Okay, so our next bit, next project is power. So to begin with, unless we've unlocked graphite, which we have, we can either burn coal or we can go and burn graphite to begin with the easiest two things. If I'm honest, I've found coal to be more than good enough. So what I'm going to do is I want to find a nice coal supply, but I don't want to use these two. I know I have to be right next to them. I don't want to use it purely because we're probably going to extend our mall over there. And we want to be able to get a good few miners around it. In fact, it's not a bad idea to add miners to the mall. I guess in theory it's great to have everything in the mall. Then you can just get everything, you just go shopping. Go on, let's put miners in here as well very quickly. Sorry. We should only need one of these guys. And the malls are entirely up to you. So as you go on, you might think, oh, I keep having to make that. I keep having to make that. So I got a little bit annoyed there having to manually make that disassembler. So that could go, you might go, right, you know what? I'm going to make those. What was I making? Mining machines. So I need gears, magnets. So I've got all this stuff around here already, which is cool. This gear guy here isn't really keeping up with demand, so we'll probably have to make more. Make ourselves another gear production. Anyone got excess iron plate? I'll have that. Thank you. then it can just feed directly to its neighbour. I apologise if you can hear squealing in the background. That is my child doing something downstairs. Sounds like he's having fun. If you can't hear it, just completely ignore my comment. It's all good. And then we need chips. So already our little box buffer here of chips is going to be quite useful because we're going to siphon off from that. Siphons, I know siphon is. I know we're not siphoning. I know that's not the correct terminology. It's the word that sprung to mind though. So one of these guys going on. So we're here. We'll need some storage. Nope, we don't want that. We want storage for our miners. Once again, let's stack it, do it to a few stacks, and this should. Are we getting gear? Oh, I'm stupid. Told you, basic brain functionality not happening today. We haven't completed our belt over here for the chips. Okay, now, very surely, we should get some miners appearing in here. My goodness me, I have no brain. There we go. Okay, finally, it's a little bit painful. That I hope it wasn't as painful to watch as it was to do. Now I'm making mine as well. Right, next we're doing power. We're definitely doing power now. So to build power stations to begin with, we're going to need magnetic coils, gears, stone bricks, and iron. So what I might do is get something making stone bricks over here. So we haven't got that. No, we're just going to steal them for handcraft to begin with. We need box, we need some iron. Doesn't seem to be selecting that for some reason, very strange. So we'll get some power stations going. Ah, it's only when you walk it stops you handcrafting. Interesting. So right, we're going to look for a nice coal reserve. So this one will do. And we want to set down some miners to get this going. Now, it doesn't really matter where your power hub is because you can run the Tesla towers to spread the power. What we didn't do was collect some miners from our mall. It's very silly. Darn it. What we'll do shortly once we've got this going is we'll get some graphite going on because that is a much more efficient fuel source for your mech. But we should do that in a second. Right, so let's get the miners going on. Cover as many nodes as possible. 6 to 7 should be plenty, but if you, I'm not sure what the maximum is, but 7 I think. Now what I found is that one miner is good for about 4 power stations. Any more than that, they tend to struggle, so you won't have them all running. So what we'll do is we'll set up a nice run here.
A thermal power station. Such power facilities need to.
So we're going to just have a belt running in the middle, and they're going to grab the coal
and stable power
as it passes. Dead simple.
at all times.
Go in there. And once we need power. See how handy all this stuff from the mall's coming in. We haven't had to handcraft a lot of it. Would have been even quicker if I'd remembered to collect them, collect all the stuff. So these guys are now full and are producing, so should be enough coal on this run. Certainly with this level of mining and belts, later on you do get faster belts and miners, which would be able to service more, but you can see this is quite good. Now we're not using any power from here at the moment. We are now going to connect it to our main network. Some towers. Doink. So now you can see this has jumped quite considerably, so we can now make 15.2 megawatts. This network is only using 1.14, but we do need to make sure everything is connected now. So you can see these two are completely separate.
Building range, you can hold down the shift key and use the right mouse button to click on the open space to control the
So now they're connected, this is connected. All I'm looking for is these blue lines to see if everything is connected. I should bring that together. And that should connect to everything else. Very good. As you can see now, our entire energy production has jumped considerably because that has everything that's on the whole network. Now it's still connected, so we're well under our capacity, which is great, and all this stuff is running nicely. Now we did say we were going to make some graphite. We were talking about power, so we might as well do the power for our mech as well. Because it gets boring waiting for this bar to recharge. Quite frankly. We've got enough space around here that should we need to add more power stations, we've got loads of room. We could just run another belt, we could set up another miner, no problem at all doing that. Now it could be really ambitious. You know what? Should we put this in our mall? We could do this in our mall, couldn't we? Then it's there. I just was trying to avoid walking all the way over. I mean, it's pretty cool looking at the base, I guess. Maybe get some research going while we can do lots of things here. Dum dum da dum. Now might be a good time to go get yourself a cup of tea. No, we're nearly there now. We did have a nice coal deposit nearby. This doesn't have to be massively efficient, but we might as well Make it as efficient as possible still. Better to have too much than not enough. This dead simply can just loop around here into a storage box. No, I can't because we need to smelt it. Silly. We need to smelt it. And then it can go in a storage box. And we're going to use this graphite for quite a lot of stuff later on, so I'm literally just going to leave this filling up. So we're in no rush for it right now, but I'm just going to let it do its thing, and over time that'll build up really nicely. Heck, do we do 2? Let's do 2, why not? I'm impatient to get in the good fuel. Oh, I hate the way you have to be a step away for these. There we go. So we've now got 2 things making graphite. In fact, I'll steal what they have made already because it looks like we're running it low on fuel. And that, folks, is the mall and your first power grid, if I'm honest. Hopefully you found it quite useful, quite straightforward once you get to grips with it. Oh, I can see a power thing flashing over there. What have I missed? I think that was that extra miner, wasn't it? Wow, scatty brain, getting distracted. Yes, your mall, just a very quick recap, it's just like a little one-stop shop where you can manufacture commonly used items. So they're all in one place when you need to collect them. Find this especially useful later on when you're going to other planets and you're literally starting afresh. You can stockpile all these good things, you know, loads of belts, sorters, mines, whatever, to take them with you to make it much easier to get established on a new planet. Definitely worthwhile doing that. And power. What do you think? Power was pretty straightforward, if I'm honest. But just something to bear in mind with power is just to make sure everything's connected. So like I did, select one of your power items and just look for if there's any gaps in the lines joining them. And that is it. So I think that's probably enough for one video. So we'll do red science in the next one. So I want to say thank you very much for watching. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more Dyson Sphere Program, then please subscribe because we're going to keep on with the series. Thank you once again. See you in the next video. Take care.